All right, how's it going again, guys? Pretty hot and sweaty out here today. Like I said, just been busy working. I just want to show you the next little project we got here. The 62 here is actually coming along pretty good. I'm going to do a final video on that truck and show you guys exactly what it looks like. I got the seat in, I got all the inside done. I just got to wind up putting the window glass in there, which I've got all that stuff there. I've got everything right here, guys. Everything that I need for it. So, you know, the new boots and stuff and different things. Here's the headliner piece. I got the top in there, but I ain't got the back in there just yet. So with that being said, I just want to show you guys this what we got going on here right now. We're working on here, and wound up finally taking and coming across one of these things. This here came from Weld in Colorado. So this is a 1964 Ford crew cab is what this is. 1964 crew cab. It is a regular 4-door. It's not a 3-door. It is a 4-door. This is probably more than likely a coach built cab. I don't know for sure if Orville built the 60, you know, in 60 on the slick side trucks. I don't know if they built them or not. I'm not sure. But I know the other 59 crew cab that's over there, it is an Orville built cab. But I don't know because it looks like somebody took the racks out in the back. And like I said, you can see here I've got the seat. Here's the seat here. I got it taken out. And I thought this is pretty damn cool, guys. This is the original seat here. And take a look at it, you know. You can still see Ford right in the top of the seat there. But anyways, the frame on this truck, guys, is completely gone. You can see here how it is. This truck was a shorty. It had a little short, you know, like a little short bed on it. That's what it had on there, was a shorty. That shit just ain't my style. That's not, I ain't messing with none of that there. So, this is the inside of it here. The inside here, as you can see, guys, it's just completely fucking trash. There's leaves and mice nests and everything else in there, and I don't even know where in the hell this so much was sitting at. But the crazy thing about this thing is the roof on this. The roof on this thing, it is dented in, you know, like something was smashed on top of it. But I'll be able to pop this here back up, and once I get it popped back up, I'll put braces in there to, you know, kind of raise that there up. But there is a little bit back here on the back here on this drip rail, which that's just common on crew cabs. You know, I know there's a lot of people out there that's got them slick sides, you know, and I mean, they're absolutely perfect patina, you know, perfect cabs. But I just couldn't see spinning. I mean, I don't know. I guess in the long run, you know, it would definitely be worth the money. You know, if you went and bought one, you know, for $30,000, you know, 20, 30,000 for a good cab. And I mean, I see them on there for 30, 40,000. You know, but when these things are all fucking done and driving down the road, I mean, you can ask what you want all day long. But I seen one other night on there for $135,000, completely turnkey, ready to go. But I just ain't got that kind of money. I got more time than I got money. But this side over here is the worst side. But this is all solid here. All that is good. But back in the day, they made really good metal back in the day. And the only other thing, the roof on this one here does not look nothing like the roof on that 62 right there. The roof on this right here, the way that this comes around like this right here, and the way that this is, it just looks totally different. I don't know. I'm not a slick side expert. I don't know. I don't really know how are the cabs different right here, because you can see this cab here is kind of flat, you know. I mean, somebody tell me if I'm wrong. I don't know. But this one right here, guys, see this here, it doesn't do that like that. I'm gonna actually give y'all, I actually got a little sneak peek of what the seat looks like in there. But anyways, I can put a brand new drip rail across the top of this cab, all the way across there. This is not gonna be a project that's gonna be done anytime soon. This thing is gonna be on the back burner for a long fucking time. I got too much other stuff to do. My wife's Bronco still sitting here, ain't been touched, and got all that stuff there. But the vents and stuff, it looks like it's, you know, it's kind of rusty down in there. I don't know what the hell they had sitting on top of this thing. The hood on this thing is completely rusty. All this right here is gone. All this here is, I don't know why this is as bad as what it is. Really don't. But the top of the roof up there, this up in here, this is all good. This has got some pretty bad pitting in there. But I'll get a new drip rail. Like I said, none of this is going to be like this. All that'll be fixed. This is just heavy. This is just pitted really bad. Once I got sandblasted, all that stuff there will be fixed. There's all the doors. The doors are really good shape. All this up here is trash, and I ain't messing with none of this. The only thing worth anything on this truck is just the cab and the back doors. This drip rail over here, you can see the drip rail. It just you know, the drip rail took a pretty good lick. Got a little small rust hole right there, but all this stuff right here can be This stuff here can be made, you know. The underneath of the truck, now the underneath of it, now that's the part that is the, you know, that underneath part there, that's where it, you know, gets kind of, you know, you got a lot of welding and this and that. And I mean, I know that drip rail ain't gonna be an easy job, but I'd hate to have to fix all the fucking rust around the bottom. I'm telling you guys, just looking at the roof of this thing, you would think this truck is completely fucking ate out of the bottom. But I'm telling you right now, guys, the underneath of this truck, the cab mounts, the floorboards, everything on this truck is, I mean, perfect. The only spot that I've seen, any spot that I've seen on the lower half of this truck that was bad is that little spot right there. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but just right there. But look at them cab mounts. All the cab mounts, all that right there, service rust. Nothing. Ain't rusted out one damn bit. Back here on the cab mount. The cab mount back here, it's got a little rust on the cab mount right there. And then this one little spot, there's one little spot right here. This piece right here is bad. So I'll be able to fix all this right here, and how it's really bad and pitted. I'll take all that pit, and once I get that guy, he'll sandblast this whole thing down. And then once he sandblasts the whole complete truck down, I got to get rid of all this. This is lead here, all that there. It's not Bondo, that's lead when they let it in, when they put that all together. Once it gets completely sandblasted all the way out, then you know, put high build primer in there, and that, you know, that'll take care of all that stuff once it gets completely sandblasted. But the bottom of the doors here, you know, the bottom of the doors, you know, just surface rust. I mean, there might be a couple of little small spots, but as you can see here, the steps here where you step at, I'm telling you guys, that's solid. Every bit solid. Just a little spot right there and a little bit there. But you can buy that shit. That's nothing. But we're going to take and get, that's what I'm trying to do. You see what I'm saying? The fucking gas tank is completely rusted out on this thing. And I'm sure you guys are saying, there ain't no way in hell that truck, is gas tank's rusted out like that, and that rust up there in the bottom of this truck ain't got no rust in it. Because, I mean, look at the frame. The frame is the same thing. It's almost like any other time, guys, I've seen this happen. It's because it's like they sit in a cow pasture. Or, you know, they get lime and shit on it from sitting in a field where there's been a lot of, you know, like, you know, fertilizing for crops and all that kind of stuff there. Or it's mainly, like I said, I see a lot of times whenever these things sit in a cow pasture or something like that there, and it just, that, I don't know what it is about that stuff. It just makes them things just, I mean, just rust super bad like that. But you can see here where the bottom of the door is, where all that shit was, you know, caked up in there from sitting in there all that time. But you see right here, guys, what I'm saying, somebody cut the seat out of it right there for some reason. But that other side over, usually, you know, if it was an Orville cab, I feel like it would have that little stamp there. But like I said, guys, I ain't no expert, you know, slick side. This is the very first, well, besides that blue one over there, this is the only, you know, crew cab one that I haven't seen. But we do got another one back there too, so we might end up getting two of these things. One's a 65, and this one's a 64 here. A lot of people, don't get me wrong, they the 66, 65 and 66 are the sought after ones. Everybody likes them. But in my personal opinion, I know everybody, you know, different strokes for different folks. But to me, I just really like the hinges on the outside, like this right here, because it just reminds me of old school truck. And I kind of like them like that. And that's the reason that's one of the main reasons why I like the fridge over there, 59 crew over there, because I like it how the hinges stick on the outside. But the other crew cab back in the back, it's a 65 or 66. I ain't run the paperwork on it yet. But anyways, I don't see no spot here where there even was a tag. So I'm going to kind of go through this, you know, I'm going to kind of go through this a little bit to see what's going on. I just don't know why somebody cut the seat out of it. I ain't really figured that out yet. But I don't know. I'm going to get to cleaning all this shit here out, guys, and see what we can see what we can come up with and things. And I wish I could show you all the inside. That door there's kind of stuck. But the driver's side door here, I did have to finagle with the driver's side door. It's just been sitting for a long time, guys. But anyways, here's the dash. Here's all that stuff there. It's all there. Even the headliner's in here. You know, you got all the headliner. You know, all that stuff there's there. You can see here where that, you know, it's rusted here pretty decent. I'm not going to say that it's not. You know, but the main thing to me was this roof here. To me, this roof is not that bad at all. That down there, when you got to replace them fucking braces and all that kind of stuff there, now that's what takes time. That's what takes a lot of welding, a lot of grinding, a lot of welding, a lot of grinding. But the front seat there, it says Ford in the front seat there as well. But all that down in there, that's all good and solid, guys. You know, it's a nice dash. It says 35,000 miles is what it says on the odometer there, 35,000. So, anyways, with that being said, if anybody's got any information on this thing, not really information. If anybody could clarify that this is a coach built cab, you know, I'd like to know, because I don't know. I don't know what to look for. The only thing that I would maybe think that it is a coach build is because I see a lot of coach builds, they don't have the drip rail, don't come around here like this. That'd be the only thing that I could think of, you know, and I don't know. And does anybody else's, you know, does there all the roofs made like this and all the roofs made like that in the front? You know, I don't really know. So, but yeah, I'll quit rambling on here. You know, rambling on here. Like I said, it's getting kind of late at night now, so I'm gonna go ahead and I just want to try to get the inside of the cab cleaned out on this thing. Get where the light ain't in y'all's eyes. I'm gonna try to go ahead and get the inside of this cab cleaned out, because tomorrow I'm probably just gonna take and pick this. I'm gonna pick this body up and get this body off this junky ass frame. Because this frame here, it's going to the scrapyard. It ain't worth a shit, and I'm not messing with it, because it's when I get, you know, time to do it, it'll be on. It's gonna be 4-wheel drive. So I got a little 2-wheel drive crew cab, 75. I got a 75 crew cab short bed frame down there, and I'm just gonna sit the cab over on. The doghouse, I'm just gonna save the doghouse for parts and use it for metal, because the metal is a whole lot thicker and just better metal. So I'm gonna wind up using that metal on the fenders, and then the pieces for the hood to fix all the other spots on the truck. So that's just my plan there. You know, and another thing too, you know, I don't know if Coach, if this, you know, because see how this has got a drip rail on the back, that up here don't have a drip rail on the back. So I don't know, but anyways, I'm gonna get to clean this thing out, guys, and see, you know, just see what it looks like on the floor, and maybe tomorrow when I get the cab off of it and put the cab on another frame, or when I get to pick this up in the air of the cab, I'll show you guys what the bottom side looks like. You're gonna be shocked, because I was shocked as myself. So stay tuned, guys. Alrighty, guys. Know everything looks a whole lot different than that was last night when I showed y'all the video of the upper top of the cab there. I went on ahead and here, I'll show you what all I've done so far. I honestly want to say that the reason that they parked this truck is because the cam must have walked on it, and this is the freeze out plug, or I should say the plug, you know, for the back of the on the back of the cam. And when I took this right here off, it was just laying there. So I saved these bushings and them bushings just in case I get in a pinch. I saved all the brackets off there. There's a throw out bearing. I mean, there's this shit. Can't think of it right now. Anyways, this is the flywheel. This is the clutch. You know, this is part of the clutch, and this is part of the clutch. And that clutch, guys, look at the shape of that clutch here. You know, it's actually in pretty good shape. That clutch was. I was looking to see if it said Ford on it, but I don't see it nowhere. But I saved the wiring out of the frame, you know, for the lights and all that kind of stuff there. But you got the clutch area, the backing plate, you know, the clutch shield, you know, goes around the bottom there. Got that. But the frame, I didn't cut the frame up. It's up here inside of this. And I'll show you what I was talking about with that thing. It went right there on the back of that engine. Right there is where that cap was. And the only thing I can think of, that cap must have fell out of there and it leaked all the oil out, and you know, must have burned the engine out before they could ever figure it out. But I think it's pretty cool that them plug wires still say Fomoco on them. I think that's pretty neat. But this frame here, like I said, it's going to the scrapyard. You see how pitted it is? I probably could have cut it right there and you know, put the 4-wheel drive in the front, but I already had this frame. I already had this one frame down there, and I had that 77 crew cab there just sitting on it. And like I said, I'm just gonna wind up just I just want to get this sitting down on there for now, just so I can get this in the barn, because I don't need that other frame. There's no sense in, you know, my biggest damn problem is over the years I get stuff and that shit, it just sits and sits and sits and sits, and I ain't never got time to mess with it. So with that being said, I got this picked up this 77 Highboy frame a while back ago. I didn't never get the title with this frame here, so I never did get a title for this frame. So what I'm going to do with that 77 cab out there, I've got another crew cab short bed frame that's a 4-wheel drive that I bought that cab goes with, and I got the matching title for the frame and the cab. So I was like, there's no sense in putting that cab on this frame with not the matching frame. Whenever I don't have a title to this frame, I'll just put this 64 cab right down over on there. Just call it a done deal. So that's what we're going to do. I know these cab mounts here is not really going to be exactly where it needs to be at. I know the front's going to be messed, you know, not going to be exactly right. But this is just to get put on there, guys, just so we can kind of get, just so I can get this cab and sit it back down, get the seat out of it, and clean the inside of it out, and then we'll set it back. I'm going to just sit it down on there, and I'll put this down in the barn. I've got tons of other stuff to work on. I just don't have time to mess with this one right now. I just want to kind of get everything mocked up. Just about every project that I have is, I should say, mocked up, because just about every one of them, I get them all put together, get all the parts that I need for them, and then I just put them there so I can get the other stuff done. But I gotta get another truck in here for my cousin. He's got a 79. I gotta do a Cummins swap on it. But I gotta get the frame and everything done for him. I gotta get the frame sandblasted, get the motor in there. He's putting a ZF, not a ZF, I'll take that back. He's putting a G5600 in there, 6-speed, and P-pump, 97 P-pump. So it's gonna be a pretty cool build. If you wanna watch that stuff there, it'll be later on. But I gotta get the cab and everything off of that truck, because he sewed the body off of that one, because it's kind of rough shape. He mainly just bought that truck for the frame and the title and stuff. And he's got a perfect, almost perfect 77 truck that he bought out of Texas. Really nice truck. But we'll get videos and all that stuff for that kind of stuff for later on. But anyways, I'll quit rambling on. Let me get my light here, guys, and show y'all what the underside of this looks like, because you did see the top of it, but you guys never did get to see the underneath side here. As you can see here, all this is just surface rust. I've done scraped it. Every bit of that is surface rust. I'm sure there might be a couple holes that might pop up here and there once I get to sandblasting and things. But all this underneath here looks really, really good. I can't believe this frame, or this underneath this cab is the shape that it's in, because of what the roof looks like, and the frame. Only spot I seen that was bad was just that one spot right there. That's the only spot that I seen besides back here. But you guys know all that stuff there. Hell, that's just like, that stuff there, it's just, this is just like a regular, regular one. I'll buy the inner patch, the outer patch, fix that. All this back here, little spot right there, but all this back here, guys, is in really, really good shape besides that one over there. Let me walk over and show you guys the other side. My cousin was going to build this frame here, but he didn't like that it had a couple of rust spots on the frame here. I'm not worried about them. I'm not worried about the hole there, because once I cut this out and re-weld that in there, you're never going to see that. I'll grind that down smooth, and you're never going to see none of that once this truck is eventually done. So here's another, like I said, here's another spot there. This cab corner's right here. I should have put this thing here. As you can see, it's kind of sitting like that a little bit. I should have put it underneath the inside here like I did that side, but I was just kind of in a hurry. But yeah, here's the other side here. You can see this one here is in really, really good shape. Even this rail that guns down through here, I was really surprised. And like I said, all that up in there is good. Here's the other cab mount right here. That cab mount, the floorboard here, it's all in really, really damn good shape. The only spot that I seen was this right here. I'm sure that'll be kind of time consuming, welding that in there and cutting out of another cab. I don't even know if you can even buy that piece, but if you can't, my goal on this right here is I need a good short bed. So what I'm probably going to wind up doing is I'm going to find me a good short bed truck. I don't even care if I got to pay $5 grand for it, but I'm going to try to find me a good short bed truck. That way I can get the whole doghouse off of it, which the inner fenders, I've got plenty of inner fenders. I'm not worried about that, but the doors on this truck are actually pretty good shape. But I'll find a short bed. I'll rob the doors off of it. I'll rob the front. I'll rob the front whole doghouse off of it. And if I need to cut these pieces out, I can. I'll cut all that stuff there out. That way there, I'll get a good grill. I'll get one that's got all that, all that stuff there in there. And I can get one that's also has a good, a good bed, because I'm gonna have to have a short bed for this thing. So I just want to kind of show you guys what's going on here. As you can see, that this is what's kind of crazy is I don't understand that how it's got all that rust up there. It's got, all that rust in it right there, but the underneath of this truck is as clean as it is. That's just, that's just mind-boggling to me that it's that good a shape. Even the fenders, this one's beat up a little bit, but all this metal here, I can reuse this metal on different parts of the truck, so it's not really that bad. I don't know if I'm going to put a step side bed on it or if a regular bed. On these slick sides, I really think that they do look good with a step side bed, but I honestly think they look even better when you got the right, slick side bed for this era truck. But when it comes to a fridge over there, I like a fridge now. I do like it with a step side bed. And then I do like the 62 that's up there that's got the long bed. That's a step side bed, and I really do like that. But when it comes to short beds and the slick sides, I just kind of like the crew cab short bed with the regular bed that goes on there. So that being said, I'm gonna go ahead now and I'm gonna get this thing sitting down on here. I just want to show you guys what was going on and show you what, the underneath of it and things, and so we can kind of go from there. I'll get this here and I'll start setting it down on there, and I'll show you guys what it looks like once we get it sitting on the frame here. Alrighty guys, I got the body sitting down here now. I'm gonna give y'all a sneak peek of what this thing looks like. It's not 100% exactly where it has to be at on there, but it's kind of close. I got to get a short bed first. They had a really good short bed on Marketplace today, and I just didn't have time to get it. But it is what it is. Like I told you the other day, this is just kind of mocking this, just kind of mock this thing up here, just so I can get it sitting on here, and then I'm gonna put it down there in the building. So anyways, here's what she looks like here right now as I got it on the 4-wheel drive running gear. And this fender here, it don't look at her because the fender's bashed in, but if I went to look to other 62, that's about exactly where it's supposed to be at. And then if you come over here and you look at this one over here, this side here gives you a little bit better reference as to right in the center. So the cab basically has to sit exactly about right here. The cab mounts you can see here, this is where the 79 cab mounts was. And then back there is where I got to put them at. I got it sitting on that board right now. And then that's why I saved the other brackets. So I saved the brackets. I'll both them there, or I might use these. I don't know. I'll probably just wind up using the ones that was the factory ones because they kind of stick out a little bit further. And it should make it all right. Steering column's right there. That's going to be kind of the other thing that's going to be, you know, kind of iffy on this is the steering on this. Because this is hydraulic steering, you know, for Highboy. But I'm going to put a regular, you know, 79 gearbox on this. I'll box the frame and stuff like that in. And anyways, and then I got to figure out how to do my steering wheel. I don't know if any of you guys on there, you know, it don't matter if it's a regular cab or a crew cab. It doesn't really matter. But a regular cab, what kind of steering shaft are you guys using to make that work? I gotta kind of figure out how I gotta do that. But anyways, I got another hood. I'm gonna slap another hood on her just to make it look kind of complete. But anyways, yeah, I'll just take you back here in the back here and I'll show you what I'm talking about as far as the back here goes. I did grease the door hinges a little bit more and things, but see how this is sitting here? This is just, I don't know why this is beat in. It was already like that. Both sides, don't know. But anyways, you can see over here, this is where the 79 ones were at. I don't know if the 79 cab is a little bit longer. It possibly is. I don't really know. But when you measure from right here to the back of this cab to the center of this rear axle right here, it's 104. It's not 100. It's 44. It's 44 inches. And then I don't have a short bed for one of these, so I don't know exactly what it is. But the book says it's 40 inches. So I'm about 4 inches. There's going to be a 4-inch difference in the thing here. If that's the case, what I might have to wind up doing is I might have to wind up taking this bracket off, and moving it up just 4 inches. With this being straight right here and straight right there, I don't think it's going to affect the way that the angle of anything. I think 4 inches will be just fine. So I don't think it's gonna hurt anything. But this is what it looks like on, you know, on the 4-wheel drive frame and things here. But I mean, it looks killer. I mean, I ain't gonna say it doesn't. I don't know what it is. I've always just liked, you know, the trucks that are 4-wheel drive. But there it is, you know, the 4-wheel drive frame. That is a 77 Highboy. That is a 77 Highboy frame is what this is. Early 77, because the truck that we took off of it, it was a 70. It was 77 is what it was. And then plus this from here, guys, it's got the Dana 60 in the front too. So, you know, it's disc brakes in the front and all that kind of good stuff. But the thing I like about this axle here is, guys, it is a Dana 60, and it is an open knuckle 60, but it's a low pinion Dana 60. And that's kind of what I want, because it kind of gives it, you know, the Highboy look, you know, with the long dry shaft in the front. So that's kind of why I want to use this frame here. So I'm gonna get the hood on it and I'm gonna get it drug out. I think what I'm also gonna do today is I'm gonna take out that front seat, and when I take out the front seat on this, I'm gonna shop back the rest of the stuff out, and then I'm gonna get my pressure washer out. I might pressure wash, you know, all the floorboard stuff out. I might not. I might just shop back it and say the hell with it right now. So that being said, this is the first video of this truck here, guys. You know how I am. I might go 10 videos before I ever get picked back up on this. The 59 is still sitting there. I still haven't messed with it. And this is a little. This here is a little mileage maker that I took in the 223 that I wound up buying for that other truck. And it's just like, guys, I just got so many projects going on. I don't know which way to go anymore. Sometimes I think about selling them all, but hell, I don't know. My heart just won't let me do it. I don't know. I got so many, and the way I say it is, one day when something happens to me, my kids, they'll get it, or wife will get it, and hell, they can just sell it. I don't know. They probably won't, but hell, you never know how these kids are nowadays. I don't think they would, because I got some good kids and I raised them up good. So I don't think they will. They kind of enjoy these older trucks just as much as I do. So with that being said, guys, I'm gonna hop off here, and that'll just, like I said, that'll be the video for that truck there. And I don't know what else I'm gonna work on next. I got a bunch of equipment I got to get worked on, so I don't really know. I'm almost thinking about making two YouTube channels. One when I'm working on the old classics trucks and stuff, and then one for whenever I'm working on equipment. But I don't know. See how things go. But I appreciate everybody that watches my stuff, and appreciate all the subscribers that I got. Thanks again, guys.